one thing that blew my mind was the next morning I looked in the mirror and my face was not my face because I had body dysmorphia. So when I saw my face, it was like seeing my face for the first time because I didn't look how I remember myself looking for like all this time. And I like saw myself as myself and I was like, oh my goodness. Joshua, and notes. And I'm gonna give a testimony. It's kind of like a combination of multiple testimonies, but holistically, it's like one big story. But yeah, it'll be short. I'm gonna truncate things to make them fit. But so I don't know if I'm after Hannah or before Hannah in this video series, but that's my sister, and we were both at the TLR school, which is where we met Jeremy, and that was great. But I canceled the but. That was great, and that was a great time. Learned a lot of stuff. But I had multiple seasons after that. That was years ago, and throughout those multiple seasons, I I I learned things. I tapped into different streams, different groups, different teachings, to different doctrines, and I changed things. And it wasn't just like me willfully doing like I was led places, led into listening to certain things. And I had a season where I just kind of macro dosed identity teaching. And when I say macro dose, it was like all I listened to. So I kind of like made myself an echo chamber, and that was just all. And so that'll change your beliefs a little bit. And identity teaching is good. I'm not hating on it. There's just some things that were not good. So anyway, I'm overcooked into that, right? Then God kind of pivots me to go to this other group, and they're very deliverance and healing ministry. And another pivot in beliefs. But some stuff over there went a little sideways. Some stuff didn't go well. And yeah. And so when that happened, I was just like, all right, I need to go back to the identity and just believe. And I don't need deliverance. What are we doing with that over there? What's inner healing? What are we talking about? Inner healing. And I just kind of backed out of it because that kind of derailed that group. Kind of had some stuff. Which is weird that my thought was, oh, let me change my beliefs because of like humanity and people. But this is what I did. And so fast forward, I get to West Virginia. I move here. I have like a moment. God speaks to someone for me about choosing where to go, and then I pray about it. And the end result, I choose to move here after Jeremy had invited me. I had like two options, and I picked here. And it wasn't long after I was here that, like, Jeremy's talking about deliverance, his mom's talking about deliverance, and I'm just like, I have this like thing in my heart about identity teaching and just believe. I'm just like, oh man, I gotta like just believe. What is all this? As if deliverance doesn't require faith and inner healing doesn't, whatever. But that broke one day. I can't remember exactly what God said. It was super significant in the time, but I don't remember. But it was basically like, hey, humble yourself, homeboy. Like maybe you just don't know. I think it's the verse that says, he who says he knows a matter does not know it as he ought to know it. When I'm speaking as if I have the complete revelation. And so that got corrected. And I was like, all right, let me humble myself. And I was like, I went to Jeremy and I was like, yo, I forgot how I said it, but basically like, I'm on board with deliverance if you want to. That same night, or was it the next day? It was something like that. I'm in the meeting. They're praying for my, was it my feet? They're praying for my feet pain. Instead, my feet actually didn't get healed, but instead I manifested a demon. And so, and there's this whole long, 5-hour deliverance thing. And I had gotten deliverance like that before, but I just thought I had went too far, which is why I went back to identity and just as if I had to polarize it. And I was healthier as a person. And the one thing that blew my mind was the next morning I looked in the mirror and my face was not my face because I had body dysmorphia. So when I saw my face, it was like seeing my face for the first time because I didn't look how I remember myself looking for like all this time. And I like saw myself as myself and I was like, oh my goodness. And, you know, I don't think any amount of identity or confession was going to take away body dysmorphia. It got cast out of me. And I'm trying to hurry up because we're at 5 minutes. I have notes. So yeah. And so that started like, I'm painting a picture here with me changing my beliefs. Okay. Something else that happened while I was here, I just had this freedom from like, I can't. I don't know if that was a deliverance or the alternate personality healing ministry that I got. Something in the midst of all that healed this thing of like, I can't. I had a lot of I can'ts growing up. Where it's like, you can want something, you can try for it, and sometimes the answer is just no. Like, it just sucks to suck. You try it, you just don't get it. Like, that's, I did, and I just had that washed into my mind. So there's just a lot of stuff I wouldn't do. And it was crippling in many ways. And it was gone. And one of the things that was crippled was music, singing. I just had a lot of I can'ts. And then I just did. But I surrendered it to him, God, and he would just pour more oil on it, just pour more oil on it, more gas. And that was great. The freedom in the music. Piano, another I can't, but here it is. So what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's great. And I'm going to have to speed through this. So I'm trying to paint this picture. So this place, this group, actually being here is what I can speak on because I'm not in the online discovery group, even though I've been for those, but I'm not in one now. It was a safe place to like change my beliefs because my beliefs have been changing. And Jeremy is like a very balanced person. He's never tried to like tell me what to believe. I've had people tell me what to believe. He's never tried to tell me what I need to believe, in the sense of, oh, you need to believe like I believe. He's like, no. And he doesn't freak out if you have a differing thought than he does. And so I could change my beliefs. And I was changing my beliefs because I was learning from God. He's like, hey, this thing you were leaning on, guess what? It's not me. It's not the rock. I'm the rock. So like, how about you just take me as I am? How about you read your Bible without all these videos and all this other stuff that you've added alongside to believe a certain, how about you just let me teach you? And while I was doing that, my beliefs were changing. And this whole season, everything I've talked about has been walking me into a consecration. And the last point I want to make about this consecrating to Jesus, I've had a mental understanding about it for a long time, but like actually doing it is a whole nother thing. And I've been walked into this process with Jesus to surrendering to this consecration. And a big voice and a big thing in that was Jeremy. And it's not so much things he said, it's more the life he lived. And he's someone who's devoted to Jesus, who's paid the price and is paying the price, who's suffering well. I know he doesn't always see it that way, but he's someone who's suffering well. And that has made like the suffering I feel, Jesus is pulling me through. It's like, okay, like, yes, sir, we can do this. And something about Jeremy, he doesn't wear like He's like Onesimus. In Philippians 2 is great because he like talks about this mind to suffer, to not value yourself more than others. Then in the middle, he talks about Jesus actually doing that. Then he talks about Onesimus, which is a physical example of a person who's actually doing the thing that Paul was talking about in the first two parts of the book, or the chapter. And Onesimus he was sick, but he was deeply saddened because he knew that the people who loved him happened to find out he was sick. So he is the type to not like to suffer well, to suffer patiently. And I've seen Jeremy, and he's like that. He doesn't wear everything he's going through on his face, but at the same time he's not giving up, and he's still going through it. And then at the same time in the season, my mom is modeling the same character of suffering, and I'm still following Jesus because I'm not gonna waver off the path because of this. And I could complain about this, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna keep going. And like that was just beautiful, and it's pushed me down the same line, and I'm out of.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'm Jeremy Gilbert with the ministry Church Underground. If you want to watch more teaching and testimonies to strengthen your faith, you can subscribe to our channel by clicking right over here, or you can watch the next video in our channel by clicking right over here. And if you really think that this video might help someone else, please share it with them. God bless you. Much love.